Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. So Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is a new film from A24 that stars a tiny little stop motion shell and his journey to try to find his family. A man ends up moving into an Airbnb where he meets Marcel and he decides that he wants to film a little documentary about this strange little shell that lives in his Airbnb, and the story goes viral and everything is picked up across the internet and people are trying to help this little shell find his family. And while it may seem kind of silly and simple on its face, it is an incredibly moving and heartwarming film. You're really rooting for this character, and it has a lot of strong messages about loss and about trying to find yourself in a world that maybe you don't necessarily fit in. Marcel is kind of this beacon of innocence. He's such a likable little character that's always trying to find creative ways to fit into this world. He's trying to be positive, and he has this relationship with his grandmother, who is the last shell that's still in the house with him. The movie does a really good job in a way of telling the idea of you losing a loved one. Kind of that struggle as a child to come to grips with the reality of losing someone, that idea of a loss. And I think it does it in a way that I think children could really appreciate this film. It handles these topics in such a soft and kind of mundane way. It doesn't have it be this big, huge, ridiculous event. It feels more like reality, like this slow, slipping loss of dealing with that. It also has a little bit of comedy, as you expect from a film like this, and there's just some incredibly cute sequences with Marcel and the way he's able to kind of do the things around the house, whether it be put honey on his shoes so he can climb up the wall to do things, or just trying to, flick a little acorn into another place so he can store it inside of his little storage container. That's kind of like the hidden gem of this movie, is it makes the mundane, simple things in life seem more fantastical, seem more impressive, because for a human to do most of the things Marcel does would be really simple and really easy to do, but for him it's a huge task. And there's even moments in the movie where the filmmaker, he's like, well, what, I can't help you, this wouldn't be a documentary if I help you do things. What would you do if I wasn't here? And Marcel even says, I wouldn't, sometimes I just can't do things because I'm not able to do things. And I think that's kind of an important message to take from it. Jenny Slate, who voices Marcel, does a fantastic job. It's such a strange, little unique voice. I think it makes the character that much more endearing. Can't help but root for this little character, and I just found myself the whole time just smiling. There are just moments where you want to cry, but it's so happy and enjoyable at the same time. It's such a great blend of dealing with loss in a heartwarming and touching way. The stop animation looks really good. I read some stuff about how they made the movie, how they made a bunch of models based on the original Marcel, because Marcel was like a little shorts that were being made before, and they decided to make into a feature-length film. So there's tons of these little models, and the way they're able to do it with such a small little character, it still looks really good, and it's just so strange and unique looking, but I really enjoyed it. So if I were to rate Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, I would give it a 9 out of 10. So if you end up checking out Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, let me know what you thought about it. I feel like most people really like this movie. It's really weird, and if you decide to seek it out, I even recommend watching it. I think it's a good movie for children. It's just a really heartwarming film to check out, especially during this time of the year. So if you do check it out, let me know what you think about it. Leave those comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.